Welcome back to the Driveway Beers podcast with Mike and Alex. As always, we appreciate you listening. Please rate us on all the podcast platforms. Like, subscribe, comment, share wherever else you're listening, and enjoy the show. All right, welcome back to another show. We appreciate you coming back. As always, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. We noticed that don't have too many Apple Podcast ratings, so if you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and shoot us a rating. Doesn't matter if it's 1 star, 5 stars, any rating will help. Want to appreciate you doing that. Same thing on Spotify. Just shoot us a rating wherever you're listening. We want to thank Adam Chubbuck with Douglas Realty in Pasadena, Maryland. Team Alpha Charlie, that's TACMD.com. That's TACMD.com with Adam Chubbuck. Real estate market, we keep saying this, and that's because it keeps being true. The real estate market is tough, especially right now. Interest rates haven't come down as much as people thought they would. The housing supply doesn't seem to be going up or down. It seems to be a fairly stagnant market. But with all the new things the administration is putting into place, maybe interest rates go up, maybe they go down, maybe supply goes up, maybe supply goes down. And the only way you know that you'll be setting yourself up for success if you're buying or selling a home in the near future is to talk with an experienced real estate agent, someone that's going to put your money and interests above and beyond any of their needs or wants. So the good thing about Adam is that he does not hesitate to tell you it's not the right time, which does take money out of his pocket, but he knows long term that you will go back to him when the time is right, because he was upfront and honest with you. Not all real estate agents will do that with you. So go to TACMD.com, that's TACMD.com. Talk with Adam if you are in the real estate market in any capacity, and let him give you an assessment of where he thinks that your interests lie right now. All right, we have we have some health updates, and that's actually going to be the title of this episode. I think I'm just going to title it "Health Updates."
Creative.
Yeah. Get ready to stop not beating around the bush on this one. I think it's been about, I want to say, a month or so since we. Has it been a month? Or
maybe more.
Even longer. Yeah.
I think I was still banged up with my arm. Did we talk about my arm?
We did.
Okay.
I do remember that because your arm was like hanging off your body at the time.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, my arm is now hanging off my body at this time because I decided to play in a charity golf outing as my first outing of the season. My first actual golfing experience of any kind for the season. And I did not take it easy, so to say. And it was wet out. And so the ground was soft, so the clubs would dig into the ground. For me, like, that's the way when you swing down on the ball and you just dig like a good 3 inches into the ground. But like the club gets stuck, like your arms are going, but the club doesn't come with you.
Yeah, it's like flex on a hockey stick.
Yeah, and if it seriously feels like I just ripped my shoulder out of socket. It didn't feel that way at the time, though. Like, I didn't feel it until about 3 hours later.
No, it always happens after. Like, and had it give you a little twinge on the first one, you probably would have like held up on the second one, but no. So you just keep doing it.
Keep going. We did not win, but we did not come in last.
Who are you with?
It was with Smitty.
Okay. Been on the show? Friend of the show?
Friend of the show. Smitty, Buddy Everett.
Okay.
We played cards with at one point, and the new neighbor, sort of. I mean, he's been here for almost a year now. Gino, next door.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you've met him yet.
I haven't.
His kids are younger though.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely segmented. The age of your kids decides like who you actually intermingle with.
It's so funny how like, and even when you're with, so like my youngest he's playing coach pitch baseball. And I can tell when I'm with families, like they have a kid that's the same age as my youngest, but they have like younger kids. So even then, like I intermingle with them a little bit because of that. But like my position in parenting is much different than theirs. Like I've already had two others like come through this level of baseball or basketball or grade in school, whatever it is. So I'm like the old hat, and you know,
You can tell where the give a fuck meter is at.
yeah, yeah. But I don't want to turn this into a baseball rant because we just said that's not the title. But it gets me. It kind of so coach pitch is supposed to be like the outs count and things like that, but some of these younger fat parents, you know, who have a 6 or 7 year old, like a first grader, kindergartner, that age, they are, and it's their first, like their first year in t-ball, and like they don't want their kids to get outs, like they don't want them to be out, like it's still like, you know, the last batter up hits a home run, like no, they're supposed to get outs and keep score and start turning this into baseball, and they're not doing it, and it gets frustrating because it's like, you know, they say, well, we don't want the kids to feel bad if they get out. Well, what about the kid that did the right thing and got the out? Mm-hmm. You know, like he should get some reward, but we don't want them to feel bad. Like, no, they should feel bad. Like you didn't get on base,
right?
You know, so it's you swung a garbage pitch and it was fielded easily. And no, you should like learn from that. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, there's definitely that turn. Eventually, like every parent's like, everyone must feel great, and then eventually, like they all get the competitive juice flowing.
Yeah,
and now everything's cutthroat.
But this whole everyone must feel great. Like I feel like crap 90% of the time, either physically or emotionally, whatever it is. Like
you're trying to prepare for life.
Yeah,
where life really is, where you always feel like dirt.
Right, and tired.
Yeah,
tired dirt.
Lots of tiredness. Before we record this, I might have had my eyes shut on a pillow.
I didn't. And had you called me and said, "Hey, let's do it another time," I would have been like, "Okay."
I knew we were up against the wall. So
yeah.
Here we are for you, the audience. So health wise, all right. I guess we're gonna start. I guess we'll go back and forth because we got some overlapping things. You've been talking about a process, and I don't know if we've told anyone about the process. I thought we talked about it a little bit because your arm, you had already decided to do it when you had your arm issue.
Yeah, no, we did talk about it, and you asked me, I don't know if we were recording though, you had said, hey, would you, if you do the same thing I'm doing and it works, will you still do the surgery? And I said, yes. And then I didn't do the same thing you were doing.
Right.
I did the opposite of that. And I'm still having the procedure. And at that point, I was like just in the process of doing it. Like I was still making appointments. So if I didn't tell anyone, I'm getting bariatric surgery, specifically gastric sleeve in, it'll be in a couple weeks it's 2 weeks from Wednesday.
So this is going out May 6th. You're going 20-something?
21st.
21st.
Yeah.
So this is going to be in real time.
Yeah, kind of. It's as close as we're going to get. But in any case, so I'm going through the process of it, and how it all started is I saw my buddy at a funeral, and you know he was wearing a suit, and he looked like a little kid wearing his dad's suit. I was like, dude, you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm feeling great. I said, what's going on? Like, he goes, oh, he told me you had the surgery. I said, oh, that's awesome. So I said, man, I've thought about it, and I don't know if I want to do it. And he goes, let me guess. You're scared, and you think it's cheating. And I was like, yep, you nailed it. He said, well, first of all, don't be afraid. It's painless. And then he said, second of all, cheating? He's like, when you're dead at 60 from being too fat and all the associated conditions that go with it, you don't get like a banner over your headstone or an express hot lane pass to heaven. Like, oh, hey, you never got bariatric surgery. You're right up to the front of the line.
Be on the headstone. Didn't cheat.
Yeah, like it doesn't work like that. So, so I thought, you know what? And you know, I've been good friends with him a long time. So I said, you know, I'm gonna look into it. So I started it then. You know, I started making the appointments and stuff, and you have to go through a bunch of steps. And it's what I find very, very funny is that the insurance company will not pay for Ozempic or Mounjaro or Zepbound or any of those, but they'll pay to cut me open.
Right.
So
Right.
Whatever. They'd probably, I mean, maybe long run, this is a cheaper option, you know?
I don't know about that. You'd have to have like, let's say the Mounjaro is like $500 a month. Mm-hmm. That surgery you're doing is like a $40,000 to $50,000 surgery with all the costs considered. Yeah. Like the insurance company's going to pay that out.
Yeah.
How many years you'd have to take Mounjaro?
Well, supposedly people are supposed to be on it for the rest of their lives. So, I mean,
I've heard you're allowed to get off.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I don't know. Me neither. I couldn't get it.
I mean, even so, 500 times. What is that? 100 months? 50 grand?
Yeah.
Is that right?
100 months is less than 10 years.
Is it?
Yeah. There's 12 months in a year.
Well, all right, then they'll be ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Unless
something kills me sooner.
Or you can do what my brother did. My brother got it, and he lost a shit ton of weight. And he's starting to gain it back now. So it's been over a year. I think it's been almost 2 years since he got it. But he's starting to gain it back now.
Yeah.
But a large part of it, you still got to learn how to eat.
Yeah. And so what happens is, so you go through all the different, you have to take nutrition classes. You have to see a shrink. You have to go, and the shrink I saw was, my wife doesn't listen to the show anyway, so the shrink I saw was a dime piece, by the way. Very worth it. So you have to do that. Then you have to go to, you have to get blood work. You have to get an abdominal sonogram. You have to get a chest x-ray. You have to get cardiac clearance, which then for me, I had to go back in again because she wanted me to get an echocardiogram. I did that. Passed all that stuff, got all that stuff done. I had to get a endoscopy. So, they put you, like, part of me thinks it's just jumping through hoops to make sure you're, like, dedicated.
Yeah.
And the whole process took me, like, I first consulted with a surgeon on January 30th, and here we are, and ready to go. 2 weeks prior to the surgery, however, you have to start a liver shrinking diet. So, not tonight, so 2 days from now, I'm going to have to start this liver shrinking diet, which essentially, like, no fun stuff, no alcohol, no this. And then you have your procedure. After that, you go on your, you do a clear liquids diet for a week, and then you do you gradually amp your system up. So, a lot of people lose a bunch of weight on the liver shrinking diet because it's like, oh no, I got to do this they're dedicated rather than, oh, I'll cheat today and tomorrow. And, oh, well, I had a cookie at lunch, so the whole day's shot, might as well stop through McDonald's.
Right, you can't do that.
All the stuff that we do. So, the thing is, like, no alcohol. And I'm like, I enjoy my bourbon, I'm drinking one right now.
Right.
It's the Old Granddad, 114. But in any case, like, no more of that coming up. So,
even I heard after the alcohol is an issue too.
Yeah, so it's funny when I was talking to the head shrink, psychologist, whatever she was. She told me, she was asking me a lot of questions about alcohol. I'm like, I drink every day, but not to like excess. But she said a lot of people, specifically women, who have this surgery and are successful end up with alcohol problems. And essentially it goes into, like, well, before they were, they were bigger ladies and didn't want to go out and do something. And then all of a sudden now they're looking better and going out more, feeling more confident going out, and then drinking more and then feeling more confident because they're drinking more, and it just turns into this spiral. And I was like, oh, wow. So,
So she had to turn into a horse.
Yeah.
Hoovers.
Yeah. But,
shaking their behind for the men folk.
Yeah. But, I'm actually looking forward to, like, have a whole force, like, hey, stop. Because I've kind of been on this attitude, like, oh, well, after this, after tomorrow, really, I'm not going to be able to do this for a while, so I'm going to keep doing it. Like, ooh, pizza, don't mind if I do. Like, I've been on, like, this, I read it the other day, I call it the Gluttony 2025 tour. Like, just going and eating whatever and drinking whatever, so.
What, the seafood diet? You see it, you eat it?
Yeah. Like, I had to get some Mexican in because I wanted to sit there and gorge myself on chips, pizza, Chinese, Five Guys, like all the stuff I wanted to get. And it's like, okay, well, I can't do this for 6 months. So
The larger problem, I would think for most people, is that even after you get the surgery, I'd probably say not like right away, not the first 2 weeks or whatever, because you're probably going to feel like shit for a little bit. Mm-hmm. You got to be on the liquid diet because that's what they said you got to be on.
yeah,
But as you start eating solid foods again, and you get that taste in your mouth for the Five Guys, right? Well, the problem is if you eat the Five Guys, you'll end up throwing it up
yeah,
because your stomach can't handle it. It's like, okay, like I've heard of people like eating through that and just throwing up all the time, like, until their stomach opens up enough where they can eat it again. It's just like it's okay. You just ruined what you had done.
yeah.
But so I guess my question is like, what does it do for the cravings? And unfortunately, I don't know if it does much of anything other than you just say, okay, I don't want to throw up, so I'm not going to eat this. And yeah, that's effective. But like I said, I do wonder, like, after a certain amount of time, do you kind of ease back into the old habits?
Well, I think it's also the quantity that you can't take in.
Right.
So, like, right now, like, if our family gets together with another family, it's, oh, hey, let's just get some pizzas. Let's just get a pizza. I'm like, a pizza? I don't know what you're all going to eat. So, and my friend said it turns into like, yeah, he'll eat a slice of pizza, but it's a slice of pizza and he's done.
Right.
So rather than like, today was, Pizza Monday at Spizzico, so I went and got a pizza. Now, I did not eat the entire pizza. Mm-hmm. I ate 4 slices of pepperoni, and then I had a slice of cheese. So 5 slices is a lot of pizza for most people. Most people aren't doing that.
Right.
I could, without question, crush the entire pizza. Like, if someone said, oh, but you can eat a whole pint. Like, okay, let's do it.
Right now, yeah.
I'd have to, like, run a hustle, though. I'd be like,
So this is actually a good transition. So, and the reason why I said that, and we can get into the why later, but, like, as of now, today, if I eat 2 slices of pizza, if I go to take the last bite or a bite of a third, something in there says, don't do it. Because it's going to hurt later. And that's because I've been on the Mounjaro for 7 weeks, 7 doses of it. It definitely made a difference as far as feeling full. That I had never experienced that before in my life. Like, I could have been like you. I could have like gone, ate a pizza, ate like 7 slices of 8, right? Easily.
yeah.
Just taking it down.
And you probably didn't need 8, but he'll leave it there by himself.
What
he wants to be with his friends.
What I could do is I could wait 20 minutes and then take number 8 down too. I just had to give it some time.
Right.
Now it's like, if I go and if I take that bite, it'll visibly, or not, it'll physically not feel good. It's like, oh shit, you've overeaten. You need to stop, or it's going to be bad news for you. Mm-hmm. And by bad news, it's like super bad heartburn, but just bloated beyond, like, to the point where it hurts.
Yeah.
Nausea will also kick in. Mm-hmm. To the point where, like, not to the point where you feel like you're gonna throw up. Like, if you overeat enough, yes, you will feel like you're gonna throw up.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bad 4 hours until shit works its way through.
You said, like, why did I do that?
Oh yeah. I mean, it hurt. Like, if it was to the, like, I didn't want to feel that way again.
Right.
It's almost like you drink too much, and you're just puking and puking. Like, it's that like not like you drank a little bit too much. Like, you drank a lot too much, and you just felt like shit. And you don't drink for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then you have a little bit. You're like, oh, okay, I remember this. But you can't go back to it because your body, it gives you the same reaction with less sips of the alcohol this time. Well, think about it with food. Less bites of food now makes it the trigger happen. So, and so, like, that's very similar to, like, the question of once you're able to eat regularly again, I do wonder, like, if I go off the medicine, does that signal go away?
Yeah.
Or is this medicine, and apparently there's a combination. One, it slows down your digestion, but two, it's supposed to stimulate the hormone ghrelin, which is the full. That's the thing that tells me I'm full. Mm-hmm. That says, hey, if you take that bite, you're going to be nauseous or you're not going to feel good. Like, you don't have hunger pain.
Yeah.
And the problem is, without that, if I'm not going to get that signal, well, I just go back to just eating.
Yeah.
Just smashing pizza.
Right.
And so, if that's the case, then it's like, okay, is this a $500 a month habit, basically, that I'm paying out to Big Pharma?
Yeah. And sometimes I wish that, like, I saw a good friend of mine, he's big into fitness and nutrition and stuff, and he's, like, he'll crush a pizza. But he crushes a pizza, like, maybe once a month. I'll crush a pizza once a week. And then, like, it's almost like, oh, well, it's usually we'll get takeout on, we'll do pizza Monday because the kids always have practice or whatever, and it's cheap. And then Fridays, because, we get home and, end of the week, don't feel like cooking anything. So usually we'll get some Chinese delivered. Mm-hmm. So that's 2 nights a week of crappy eating. And then I'm guaranteed to run through a drive-through after a practice at least 1, 2, maybe 3 more nights a week. And it's like, Jesus, like, look at all this compound, like, in and of itself, one of those events is necessarily bad, but when you put them all together, and then that becomes your consistency. We were so busy, I was like, I need to eat something green. Like, I just need to eat a green thing. Like, oh, here's some green jelly beans. Like
the pickles on the Chick-fil-A sandwich, right? I mean, like, we're in, like, these 2 months, it's generally, like, April, May, and a little bit into June, but that's, like, that's spring sports season.
Yeah.
I almost every family deals with this shit. Mm-hmm. And it's like both parents, they get off work, they get home at 5:30, been working all day.
Yeah.
They don't want to cook. Nobody wants to deal with that shit.
Well, the thing is, for I do the majority of the cooking, so it's like, and then I'm also coaching their team, so it's like, I'm trying to put a lineup together, and then I'm like, well, I don't want to just eat pasta. So, okay, so I don't cook that. And the next thing you know, like, it's 9:30 at night and everyone's starving, like, oh, drive through it is.
Right.
So it's really dumb. But you guys are a lot like us in the fact that you're both involved in the league and the teams with coaching and other aspects of it, so sometimes I wish, like, why can't I just be like a dad that sits in a chair and watches a kid and then we go home?
Well, there's that part of it, but there's not, like, for example, like, my oldest gets home at 4:30. Mm-hmm. Practices at 5:15.
Yeah, you're turning and burning.
I literally, I'm throwing food at the kid.
Yeah.
That I either had to cook in the between, like, 4 and 4:30 so that she could eat it when she got home, or we're going through Chick-fil-A drive-through.
Yeah.
Because my kids don't eat any other fast food. Like, and I probably had something, like, I the wife and I told them about the pink slime for McDonald's, so they won't touch a McDonald's burger.
It's a bad.
That's bad move. And, like, they don't like the McDonald's chicken nuggets because they like the Chick-fil-A nuggets. Different nugget. I get it.
I think they're 2 different species.
They are. It's like saying, deep dish is pizza when It's not really. I mean, it's pizza, but it's not New York style pizza that we all associate pizza with.
Right. It's like if you were to say, and local people know exactly what I'm talking about. If anyone else might not, so I'll describe it. Lido pizza. Mm-hmm. I love Lido pizza, but I don't look at Lido pizza as pizza.
Not pizza.
If I was in the mood for, like, a good slice, from, like, Rose's in Penn Station in Manhattan or whatever, like, I'm not, and I had Lido's, I'd be supremely disappointed.
Right.
So Lido's is a square pizza. It's thin crust. The sauce is sweeter. But if you just take Lido's for what Lido's is,
it's not bad. Yeah.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
Like, if someone dropped a large Lido ham and onion on the table right now, it's not surviving this recording.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It is good. Yeah. And I think the little slices fuck you up.
Yeah.
because you're like, oh, it's a little slice. Oh,
It's like eating a cracker.
Oh, it is like eating a cracker. So it's like you could easily take down half because you're like, oh, it's a little slice. Well, 13 little slices later,
Yeah.
a half pizza's gone. But because I feel like it's like because you're eating like a little slice, it's like 2 bites. Oh, it's like a bite-sized pizza.
Yeah.
Yay. And so you just keep going. And like I said, next thing you know, half, whole, it's all gone. The whole thing.
Yeah.
And it was delicious the entire time.
Oh, it's so good.
I don't
But
know.
don't, and if you ever, if you're not from around here and you're just accustomed to like regular New York style pizza, don't go to Lido's expecting that. Just
Right.
take it as a completely different thing.
Right. So when your buddy that you came down to visit said, "Oh, let's get a pizza," and they order Lido's pizza, let's just understand it's not the same pizza that you're used to. It's still delicious, but not the same.
Right.
Don't consider it pizza. Just cheese on bread.
Yeah.
It's some other thing.
It's its own thing.
So I do wonder. I do. If I could predict the future, I'd be a millionaire, right? Or probably a billionaire, because I could be Biff Tannen from Back to the Future.
Predict correct like money making things.
Yes, like horse racing, betting, like Biff Tannen from
Yeah.
Back to the Future. Yeah. We would know how it's all going to end up, right? But I don't know, man. I do feel like it's a treadmill over and over and over again. Even with the shots. I mean, I hope it's I hope it's different for you when you go through this. And that there isn't a bounce back at some point.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you still have to address the underlying issues that cause you to eat. So if you don't do that, you still have to maintain discipline.
Right.
So I was on I went and I joined a bunch of bariatric surgery support groups and stuff on Facebook. And it was more women. Like the dudes were like, yeah, okay, whatever, do this, do that. And I'm like, okay, do it. And there was some complaining from them, but the women were just like, oh my God, I'm on day 2 of pre-op diet and I can't do it. Suck it up, right? That's what got you here in the first place. I will tell you straight up, that's what got me here in the first place. So suck it up. If this is something you want to do to make a positive impact, then suck it up. Then there are people who are like, oh, I'm in my week 4 diet or whatever, so I'm having protein shakes and this and that. But I'm craving Oreos. Can I blend Oreos into my shakes? Like, what? Are you nuts? Like, why'd you bother? Why'd you bother doing this at that point? So,
But that's what I mean, though, dude. If the cravings don't go away, like, eventually doesn't that creep back in?
cravings have never been what made me eat.
Really? Okay.
Mine is just I like to crush food. So there's certain food, but I've never sat there and like I'm craving a donut and gone and bought a donut. So like I'll go buy donuts for the kids and then just eat 6 of them because they're there.
Right.
But it's not a craving. I can't think of any foods that I've really had except every now and then like a Five Guys craving, but there's none convenient. So,
That salty meat craving with cheese
yeah,
is a thing
Yeah.
for me.
So maybe I think it's more habit than craving. So I'm a big salty, crunchy guy. So like popcorn, Old Bay cheese curls, potato chips, chips and salsa, like whatever that's. I'll like go to town on that. But if it's there, like I've never been like, I think I want some Doritos and like gone out and bought Doritos. Like I've never like if they're there.
If I have to go, my laziness will always
Supersede?
It'll always trump my craving. I don't like. I want it, but I ain't gonna get it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do
If I'm
have
driving by it.
Yeah. No, I do have like food without breaks. Which would be like. I think more it's like oh this I just ordered Singapore rice noodle and I'm going to eat the whole thing because it's here. Like
It's like going to Jersey Mike's.
Yeah.
A regular would do just fine, but if I order the giant, I got more. So
You're actually saving money though.
Probably per ounce. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So you got another 3 weeks, but 3. We'll say 3 weeks from now.
2 weeks and 2 days
Yeah.
before the procedure. So
And we'll give an update when you're able to come back and jumping back in the saddle.
Yeah.
Because I got a feeling there's going to be at least a week that you're just not going to be able to do that. You're going to be holed up in bed like,
Yeah.
I feel like shit.
Yeah. Well, actually, my buddy said he didn't have that problem. That he took 2 weeks off of work just to take 2 weeks off of work because he had an excuse to do it.
I'm one of those people, like, if I have something done, I'm probably going to get the worst side effects of it. Like, all of the bad side effects, I will get all
Right.
of them. Oddly enough, though, with the Mounjaro, I didn't get any. Whereas, like, we told everyone, like, when I had the Ozempic, when I tried that, the first shot, I was bedridden for 2.5 days, just nauseous the entire time.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I need the antidote, or wait, can we reverse this? It's like, no, it's an injection. You just got to fight through it. Like, God damn it! You're not gonna. The doctor was like, you're not gonna die. You'll be fine. Just get through it. I was like, this sucks. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, just to see if it sticks. Now, with that being said, so when we initially started about talking about health and wellness, and I want to say, what was this, like 2.5 years ago? Mm-hmm. I was sitting at 350. Mm-hmm. I am at 301.
Okay.
To this day. When I started taking the Mounjaro, I was back up. So I had gone from 350 down to 305, so I lost the 45 that way. But then I went all the way back up to 330. And that's when I started taking the Mounjaro. So I've lost about 29 pounds in 7 weeks on the Mounjaro, which is not bad.
No.
Right? I mean, that's roughly about 4-ish pounds a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 4. Yeah, it's 4.1, whatever. 4.1 pounds per week, which is great. There was also 3 weeks in there where I hovered at 305. Mm-hmm. Like 304, 306, 305, 306. Like, I was like, I'm cursing the fucking scale. And then out of nowhere, it went 304.
Yeah.
303. And then 301. I was like, son of a bitch. And then, of course, it bumped back up to 303, right? It's been fluctuating like that.
Yeah.
The doctor is... So I've been... The first 8 doses have been the lowest dose. The next one, so not 8, but 9, is going to be the ramped up dose. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if that kind of kickstarts it again.
Yeah.
The goal we've set is to get to 250. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't think the second 50 is going to come off as quick as the first 50. So, I mean, and so the point of this was to say, basically, look, it took me 2.5 years to get to this point.
Yeah.
And I think one of the conversations we had in the first episode that we talked about this was, yes, it might be long. But when you get to that point, are you going to look back and say, well, I wish I hadn't done it?
Right. No.
Like, you're happy you did it. But on a daily basis, I do think it's mentally just taxing. Like, what's the number going to be today?
Yeah. And you weigh yourself every day?
I try to. But there are some days when I'm like, you know what? I'm not starting my day like this.
I know what I did last night.
It's not even that, though. Because there was one... I remember there was one day, and I had I want to say it was like 1,400 calories for the day with no carbohydrates. Like, it was a perfect low-carb day. And I was like, tomorrow morning, the pound's coming off. Gained 1. I'm like... And like, that's the kind of mental shit I just have a hard time dealing with. It's like, okay, you've done everything right. And it was everything right for 2 days.
Yeah.
The first day, pound came off. Second day, pound came back on. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, this is not how it's supposed to work. The science says I should have lost, or at least not gone up.
Right.
And so that's the hardest thing. For me, that's the hard part about it, is like, if you don't see the results. But like we said, like, you see them over time. And it does make it easier. And then someone the other day asked me, like, well, do you feel the difference? And I'll be honest with you, I don't. Mm-hmm. Like, I look in the mirror, I see the same thing. It feels like the same amount of weight on the joints. Now, is it really? Probably not. Because it comes off so slowly, I probably don't feel it. I also do wonder, like, some of the joint aches and pains. So my brother had this situation where he would get more joint and back pain when he lost a lot of the weight quick. And essentially the doctor said, well, yeah, the fat that was cushioning your bones is no longer there. Mm-hmm. So if the fat, let's say you had fat in your knee, was masking you not having cartilage or whatever.
The arthritis in your knee.
Correct. Yeah, it was masking the arthritis.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you're going to feel the pain for a little while. But he goes, eventually your body will adjust to it. And he goes, you might still have some soreness, and then we can address the underlying reason why. But he said, you know, you're losing cushion. And some parts of your body need cushion.
I mean, it makes sense.
I'm not really sure how much fat gets into your spinal cord or spinal
Yeah,
column,
I don't know about that.
Don't know.
No, that's... Never thought about it either. So,
but they also, I mean, they basically said that something comes into play where I don't know, things aren't as compressed anymore in there because you're losing weight.
So my sister lost a bunch of weight, and she used what's that thing called? It's an app.
Not Weight Watchers.
No, it's all online. Whatever the hell it's called.
Jenny Craig.
No. In any case, I'll think of it. So she used that and dropped a bunch of weight. Noom.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And she followed that, and she said that when her, like, all of a sudden, like, her knees started really bothering her, and the doctor was like, essentially, your weight has been putting so much weight on, it's almost like a car. Yeah. Like, the shocks were just completely compressed. Well, then you take all the weight off the car, and the suspension can start moving again. Well, now it's like all these rattles and, like, what's like? Oh, you didn't know you needed new whatever, new shocks because they were so compressed. They weren't bouncing around anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can tell you that I feel every pound that I have. So right before my surgery, I was sitting at 427, and now I'm at 447. So I gained 20 pounds from.
So you're almost back to when we started.
Yeah,
because you were at 450.
Yeah. So like, and I've been doing absolutely nothing to. I've just been having fun,
Yeah.
But it sucks. Like my clothes don't fit the way they should. And if you, for those of you who don't know me, like if you were to see me, you wouldn't think that much weight. You'd say, oh, that dude's he's in the solid threes. But oh no, add 100 pounds to that. I carry it pretty well, so which is actually part of the problem because I can hide it,
right.
But now it's like, no, there's no hiding it, But I'm not buying new clothes because hopefully I'm not going to buy new clothes for this size. I want to do clothes on the way down. So my buddy gave me a bunch of clothes that he wore on his descent. So, but that dude he's down 120 pounds since October.
The clothes thing has got to be hard because when you're dropping weight that fast, I mean, the clothes you buy on a Tuesday don't fit you the following Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Do you just keep buying clothes?
Yeah. I'm not doing that.
You got to wear something.
I hate buying clothes.
You just got to walk around the robe.
What I'm excited about, though, is I have a ton of T-shirts from, like, different things I've been to, different events. Like, a lot of stuff like, oh, here, have a T-shirt. And I just take them because I do. Mm-hmm. And, like, the biggest size I have is 3X. Maybe 3X. You're lucky. Generally, it's 2X. Mm-hmm. So I just take the 2X. And then all of a sudden, like, I'm like, wait, I have all these T-shirts that are going to fit. I already have some stuff stockpiled. So, and I'm looking forward to, like, now if I go to Target has nothing for me.
Right.
I have to go spend, like, legit money at the Fat Man store for nice clothes.
Like DXL?
Yeah, F that place.
Well, like, that's so the funny part.
Unless you want to sponsor the show, then we love you.
Right. So, like, that's where I used to, like, I still get shirts there because they have the extra length. Mm-hmm. Because I need to be able to tuck it in.
Yeah.
That place definitely, what's the right word?
Gouge?
Extorts you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, we know you have no other place to go for this stuff.
Yeah.
So if you want something that fits and that you don't feel like a schmuck in, these khakis are now going to cost you $75.
Yeah.
A pair of khakis at Walmart is like $25.
I know.
Like, that's wild, right?
Yeah.
Like, a button-down shirt, $60. Like, you get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a ton of nice button-down shirts and all this stuff that I can wear. So I need to get back moving in that direction, and then eventually they'll fit and keep going down. But I haven't bought any umpire gear or uniforms yet because I don't want to spend money on that. Just have to turn around and not have it fit anymore. So,
Really, I mean, the upper stuff is, and I guess the lower stuff too, is mostly adjustable though.
The gear,
yeah.
But the uniforms you have to wear over it. I think you have to get a bigger size to fit over the vest, your chesty, and then they make different kinds of pants. There's plate pants and base pants and hybrid pants.
Did you even put yourself in the portal
for
umping?
Calling games? I'm in, but I'm blocked out.
You mean like schedule wise?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like I'm in my associations, like I'm a member.
Yeah.
But I'm blocked out because I'm like, well, at first it was my arm, and then it's like, okay, well, I can start, but I didn't know when the bariatric procedure was, so I blocked out the entire month of May, and then I was like, well, now I don't have, I'm not going to buy uniforms for this size, and I've spoken to those guys; they're all really nice, so I was like, they get it.
Speaking of baseball, softball. I didn't tell you, but a mutual friend of ours almost got thrown out of a game by an umpire.
Oh, really?
For asking a question.
Oh.
Okay, so I won't say her name. she won't be happy. But so essentially in softball and at 10U, the runner can't leave the base until the ball crosses home plate.
Right.
Okay.
Or is put into play.
Right. Correct. Yeah. So the pitcher throws a ball and it crosses home plate, and the runner at second base, little girl, right, just picks up her heel, off the base just to like stretch her calf or whatever, and put it back, and she puts it back down. He called her out for leaving the base.
Oh, come on.
And so the coach, our mutual friend, it's like stunned. She's like, what do you mean she's out? She's out. She left early. But she's still there.
She didn't go anywhere.
Like, she didn't even move toward third. She was on second base. She didn't move toward
It'd be
third.
one thing if she was like 4 steps down the line.
Yeah, no. All she did was she just picked up her back foot off the base and put it back down.
What age group again?
10U.
Oh,
and she's playing up. She's an 8U girl playing. She's a 7-year-old or
so the second grader moved her foot.
Yes.
And look, I like to question another umpire,
the fraternity,
but I'm about to call him a douchebag. But it's like the bulk douchebag.
Yeah. And so his response was, "Well, she did it 3. I didn't call it. She did it 3 times." And the coach goes, well, could we have gotten a warning and we would have, corrected
Yeah,
the
you would have
problem?
told her.
He goes, but that's not my job. I'm like, I kept my mouth shut, which is a feat all on its own. And this is the team that I get to be regular dad.
Yeah.
Like, I help do stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'll drag the field for him. I'll get the field ready. I'll do whatever. I'll
keep
do whatever.
Score, maybe.
I'll keep score if she
Yeah.
Whatever she asks me to do, no problem. I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
But she doesn't ask me to coach. I mean, I shouldn't say that. If she needs help, like I said, she'll ask me for it. Mm-hmm. No problem. Like, I help with the dugout one game to keep the girls going through. Whatever. And so I'm sitting there listening to this guy. And again, 10U, this is a teaching age. 100% teaching age. Like, they're still doing coach pitch for the first half of the season.
That makes it even more ridiculous.
I'm sorry. Well, it's coach assist. It's not coach pitch. So the girls pitch.
Throw 3 balls and coach steps in.
Right. Yeah. And so the first 2 innings are just girl pitch. Then it's 2 innings of coach assist, and then 1 inning of girl pitching if you get to the 5th inning. So this is a learning league in that regard. And he's just like, well, she did it 3 times before this, and I didn't call her out. This is the 4th time she's out. And she was like, well, and the coach was like, well, couldn't we have gotten a warning? And he's like, well, that's not my job to give a warning. I can't do that.
That kind of is.
Yeah, but
It's actually, I mean, I'm not sure about softball, but it's actually in the NFHS rule set, the high school, like certain things where you do give warnings.
right. But I mean, even if it's not, I mean, like I get it. At 12U, they don't give warnings. Mm-hmm. You leave early, you're out.
Yeah.
If one of the base coaches like puts his arm on a girl's shoulder to talk to her or whatever, she's out. You can't touch the kid.
Yeah.
I understand those because at 12U, you've known the rules. You've played a season without coach assist, and I get that. And so I just see her getting angrier and angrier because she's like, and she's talking to him quiet. She's not raising her voice. Now parents are starting to chirp. That aren't me. I'm not the parent chirping. they're like subtle chirps here and there, and you can just see her face, just baffled and pissed off that this person wouldn't give a warning to this 8-year-old girl
Right.
about just lifting her back foot up off the bag. And so, like, and I had a legitimate question, which was, when does the time start that the foot has to be on the bag? And I always thought that it was, so after the ball crosses home plate, so that's when she can move, right? Mm-hmm. I thought that's when the clock kind of started or stopped. So now you can move freely. Mm-hmm. When the pitcher has the ball and is back in the pitching circle, that's when the clock starts. That's when you can't move.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't even explain that part of it. It's like, well, can we at least get an explanation of the rule? And no. Can't
Probably
do
because
that.
you didn't know.
Probably not. So the friend of ours who you would never think would get thrown out of a game, he got to the point where he literally goes, he was walking back to home plate. He doubles back and goes, oh, what was that question? Like that thing. Like he was waiting for one more word before he was like, you're gone. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, wow. Now keep in mind, like, some of these umpires have affiliations with certain organizations, and we think that this one had an affiliation with the group that we were playing.
Oh.
And it wasn't going well for them. Like, the final score of this ended up being like 14-4. It wasn't going well. Mm-hmm. But it was like, it's like, also like this team and parents aren't one to argue with umps. Like, they don't give anyone a hard time. Like, this is the first time I heard some of them chirp. But it was just because he was being a dick. It's like, I think some of these guys put on the ump uniform and think they're God.
Yeah.
And nobody can speak. They're not human anymore. You can't speak to God.
Right.
Yeah, you can't speak to Xerxes.
I was just thinking about Xerxes.
300.
Yeah.
I am a what was it? I am a merciful God.
Yeah, I'm a kind God.
Kind God. That was it, yeah. It's like, bro, you live amongst these people. You can't just be nice about it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, if you got to call her out, call her out.
Yeah.
But you can't argue with the coach that said, hey, maybe a warning. Mm-hmm. Because you know what? Yeah, maybe you could have given one. And then maybe explain the rule in full so that we understand. Because, like, she's a first-year 10U coach. Like, the rules are different from this to 8U.
Yeah.
Maybe help her out so that she understands the rule. But no, there was none of that. It was like, I'm going to throw you out because we hate you. Like, what the So I'm like,
did you question my authority?
right. And the weird thing is, like, one of the parents in the beginning game, he's like, oh, this ump is really good. He's got a consistent strike zone. So, like, he's known as a decent ref or a decent ump. It's like, I don't understand why he would decide to, like, go on this tirade or this whatever he was on, like for this moment, it was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It was weird. Don't be that guy. Like when whoever the umps are. Now, with that being said, we've got some umps that we usually get for our games, and we've had the same one for a lot of games. Mm-hmm. And he's like the nicest guy.
Yeah.
Now he's called some people out for those same things, but at 12U, at 10U, he does more of the teaching thing. Mm-hmm. So, for example, we had a girl who was pitching and she was double pumping. So basically, she was pulling her arms together twice. So
okay.
She was over her head, down, back over her head. Apparently, you can't do that.
It's probably like a balk or what?
Yeah.
Are there balks in softball?
I think something. There's some. I think they just call them legal pitch.
Yeah.
But the guy came over and said, "Hey, look. Here's a warning. That's an illegal pitch. She's got to clean it up." Mm-hmm. And life moved on.
Yeah.
And again, for anyone who wonders, this is rec softball.
Right.
Yes, it's 12U and 10U, but for us, that's rec. It's not travel.
Right.
So it's like some of the guys understand the assignment as far as we're going to help you learn. And some of them are like, this is pro sports. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
This is the NCAA tournament. Get your shit together, 8U. Mm-hmm. 7-year-old girl playing up.
Yeah.
Get your shit together. Because that's one thing we have. So out of 11 girls, 3 of them are playing up from 8U. Mm-hmm. We had initially our mutual friend drafted 4 of the 5 that were playing.
Oh,
up
wow!
Because she had them, and here's the thing though, they're all tiny. Like you look at them and you're like, ooh, like looks like T-ball size.
Yeah,
right? Like they haven't grown much. But they're all fast as shit. Mm-hmm. So like they just touch the ball and they're on first base before you blink. Mm-hmm. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then they steal second. And then they steal third. Like they just steal all the bases. Mm-hmm. Because I think I can't remember. Like they're just happy they can steal bases.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And like they're skipping down faster than I can run. And like this is amazing.
And none of the catchers probably throw down to second anyway.
No. No. They throw to third, but it's a tough play at third. And then we have like 3 of the older girls who like they're tall. They're all tall. And so we've got like 7 little teeny tiny ones. And we've got 4 like towers. And it looks like the most mismatched team you've ever put together. Mm-hmm. But it works and they win. But
yeah,
they're also, they're all learning it though, which is good. But everyone kind of knew it was going to be learning on the fly. Mm-hmm. So, but they're doing all right. The problem, actually, the biggest problem is the other 2 teams within the organization. I have a feeling it's going to be 2 of our teams in the semifinals and then 2 of our teams in the finals for the playoffs because they all have pitching.
Yeah.
And pitching is killer in softball. I mean, same thing with baseball though.
I always said rec baseball. If you gave me a couple pitchers and a legit catcher, I don't care if the kids know which end of the bat to hold. Like they will win because mainly it's just 12U, 10U rec baseball. It's a 5-inning or 5-run limit. Mm-hmm. So essentially, like if no one can play defense, they're either going to, the pitching and catching is generally so bad they're going to get on base through walks and then steals and pass balls and wild pitches. None of the catchers can throw down to second. So if you get on first, you got second. 10U they can't lead, but they can take a secondary and steal, similar to softball. And then so just wait for them to walk, get on base, steal second, or reach second on a pass ball or wild pitch, reach third on a pass ball or wild pitch, and then take home on a pass ball or wild pitch, and just keep. And then it's gonna be a 5. So the team that has a pitcher and catcher that can connect, like, all right, so they're trading blows 5 and 5, and then the next thing you only let up 3, but you score 5, you just won because they're not going to make up. So it's the team that commits the fewest errors wins. If you can get 3 outs, you're good. So
That's why it was with the young girl softball, because like you're limited to 5 runs in the inning, so you just can't keep going. So if you're a team that can get outs and you can limit one team, like if you know you can score 5 runs every inning,
Yeah.
and you can stop them at 3 or 2, you're golden. Mm-hmm. The other funniest part of it is all 3 of the pitchers are the tall girls, and the 2 catchers we have are all the shorties. Mm-hmm. It's the funniest. Like, this little tiny, like, and they crouch down and they get smaller.
yeah,
It's like smaller. It's like, okay, like, provide a big target. Like, that's as big as she gets. Like, you can't get any bigger.
well, when I've so I've umpired a couple games where the umpires didn't show up, and like this kid comes out and gets into his stance. I'm like, I hope you're quick, dude, because I'm gonna get pegged all day. I'm just gonna get beamed all night. So, it's still. I mean, they're 10, so they're not throwing the ball. It's 10. It's 3rd and 4th grade rec. Like, so they can pretty much like.
though.
What I'm worried about is bats, because they throw the bats, and it's like, and some of the foul balls come pretty hot. But like for the most part, like a wild pitch, like I have to keep my hands down so I don't catch it, because I'll just reach up and catch them.
Right.
You know.
Now, do you do? I've seen some umps. They stand so far back. Like, I don't understand how they're calling.
It's supposed to be ear to ear.
They like the catcher is like, she's not up at the back of the batter's box. Like, she's like probably 2 feet behind that. Mm-hmm. This dude was like 3 feet behind her. I'm like, this is not.
No.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, I get. With the small catchers, I can't go ear to ear. I'd be like on my knees. But essentially, like what you're supposed to do is go ear. Like for a righty, you're supposed to be your right ear to the catcher's left ear, like right in there, and so you have a good view of the zone. And then like that's how you should be doing it. You should be right up on them, not close enough that you like just put your hand out and put it on their back.
Right.
Like that's how you get a good view of the zone. Not this, I'm going to stand 10 feet back and then wince when the ball comes near me and then call a ball or a strike. Like,
Not with my back against the backstop.
yeah, leaning to get like you're waiting for a bus.
Like, you might as well just be a parent behind the pitcher. Calling balls and strikes that way.
I probably could have a better strike zone from back there
Yeah.
than some of these guys, but whatever.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the health update. We'll give another update probably in about, I want to say a month, but it's probably going to be like a month and a half before we do another health update, depending on where you're at. We want to give you some time to recover. If there is recovery time, but plan ahead.
We'll find out.
Yeah, that's very true. And we will let you know.
Yeah.
The radio voice. We'll let you know on another episode. We appreciate you listening. I want to thank Adam Chubbuck, techmd.com. That's TACMD.com. Any real estate needs that you have, please go talk to Adam. And we will talk to you next week.